Hello and welcome back to round 3 coverage from the 2025 Northwest Disc Golf Championship presented by Latitude 64. We saw some struggles from the whole card, really, on the front 9 here at Glendoveer. We'll see what they can do on the back 9. As always, you're watching JomezPro with Nate Sexton, Jeremy Koling, and Paul Ulibarri.
If this were stock market, buy right now, because it can only go up from here.
Yeah.
This is a pretty slow front 9, as you can see. There's probably more red on that card than you're going to see on a third round lead card all season.
I will say it's a real testament to the difficulty of this course as well. I think this is one of the best we got as far as you play it, it's fun, doesn't seem that hard, but tournament play, it can really get under your skin. Hole 10, par 4, 7-10. Roller through here. Most people just go air shot left of this gap. Throw it as far as you can, and you're left with in between 360 and typically 300 feet in. Green right here is out of bounds, and behind the basket's out of bounds. Obviously, the basket's perched up on that slope. Guardian tree on the left.
Surprised with Gannon's subpar play, with the amount of confidence he has in his ability to shred this course. Coming out pretty slow in the front 9. Grabbed a couple of good birdies on 7 and 8. But only 2 under in the front 9 is well back of his expectations, and I think all of our expectations for what he would be doing out here.
I mean, the whole card is just flat like a pancake.
I just haven't heard the rest of the card talk about how much they enjoy Glendoveer the way that I hear Gannon talking about it. But I agree. They all hold themselves to the highest level of expectations.
Oh,
and
and we do. This is the worst we've seen any of these guys play.
Yeah, miles from high excellency for sure.
All right.
I mean, this guy's the best we've ever seen, and he's 5 over par.
Maybe the course is hard.
It is.
It is.
Gannon going with sidearm. I'm guessing that's probably about 300 feet, and that was really well done.
310.
310? Okay.
Similar distance for Rick.
Great.
Yeah.
Paul's left himself in another kind of tricky little spot.
Goes Luna turnover. Does it real smooth.
Wow.
And that'll be his first birdie look
That's got to be
inside the circle since hole 1. And Calvin at like 270. And
Oh, my goodness.
that is...
Oh, wow.
That's just a derp moment. I mean, you cannot expect yourself to slide across the green.
No. We've all done that, though. I think it was Champs Cup. I did the same thing. Little 200-foot up shot and just burnt.
It's so,
You're like, what are you doing?
it's
Yeah.
a Southwest want to get away moment is what it is.
Yeah. Well, you forget that putters are really grabby on greens.
Yeah.
So grabby. And there it is.
There we go.
McBeth is on the board, 10 holes in.
Oh.
Anthony Burrell alert.
Roller?
I think it's just right in between.
Okay, interesting.
Hole 4 was his last par. About as far as you'd ever expect to see Anthony Barella from the pin after 2 shots on hole 11.
Yeah, not his best drive, that's for sure. That left him where he was on that previous shot, now just outside the circle.
He's been doing pretty well from here all day. Let's just go grab that
Wow.
basket.
Wow, this guy is just putting on a clinic from circle's edge. That's impressive because over and over being at that spot and then accumulating so many birdies, those putts typically don't get any easier as you feel yourself doing something really special and you find yourself stepper, and he's made them all so
It's
far.
his 5th C2 make of the round
Wow.
through 11 holes.
Well, you just saw what Anthony had to do to get the birdie. 1,145 feet, par 5, all kinds of gaps off the tee you can choose from. And then you just have to play something controlled down into way short of here. Kind of a tricky little upshot, I guess. If you get the big distance, then the hole becomes easier, obviously. I think the challenge is off the tee. If you can get yourself in a good spot, hyzer angle the whole way for your second shot in, you'll have inside 250 feet probably.
Good tee shot for Corey.
Yeah, like here he can go flat kind of hyzer the whole way down.
Oh, he's going for the small gap.
Very nice.
Are you surprised to see that?
I think you want to hang it out over that out of bounds on the right, so that's a derpy moment. Like,
Yeah. This guy would go to your local league and win putting league. He'd win putt night. He'd go home with a prize, and you'd understand why. I know, because he's done it in Charlotte so many times.
Gannon gonna go roller. Pretty flippy disc.
this tee shot's great. Look at all those gaps. Whatever fancies your eye.
Yeah, none of them are that great.
No.
They're all
First tree
Rick.
available.
I really like the final third of this hole.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the more beautiful areas. The way the trees interact to make the shot a little bit difficult, like throwing at this one from like 350, 400, just a beautiful shot to watch.
Didn't see that one finish for McBeth, but it looked like a good line off the tee.
Ripped. A bullet.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Get off that tree, dang it.
Yeah, it's plenty of space. I went up there, sized it up. He's got plenty of swing. But it looks like it would be invasive. Now, Ricky, I mean, just barely off the tee shot's got to get big here.
Kind of gives him a shot at a birdie.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch this next one, I'll tell you that, because, you know, now he's sitting at a spot that would just be the dream drive.
Yeah, that's bigger than any drive I've ever seen on this hole.
Yeah.
Where it came to rest for
Yeah,
a second. Yeah.
for sure.
Now, Gannon, not a lot of distance off the tee, but a lot of distance on the second shot.
Whoa. Very controlled. Late flipped it down the hill. That's not easy to do.
Very much back in the position he wants to be in.
I'm not sure if we have made it totally clear, but I feel like it's worth mentioning, Jerm, that, you know, you were out there covering this card live as the on-course commentator. So when you're coming in here, generally you're not going, oh, I sized it up and it's a perfect. I just want it to be clear to everyone that, like, when you're going, it's 310, you're not actually being a dick. You were out there and you and you actually have way more information.
Paul, it's 312 feet to the pin.
You have way more information than you would normally have. Just to make that clear,
I don't
why he's just like,
I would say that regardless.
Yeah,
just so you
but
know.
this time it's like justified. I guess is what I'm trying to push for. Is this going to push OB? I bet you it doesn't.
No, it got stable at the end.
Good.
And it's nearly pin high.
Yeah,
It's
it
pretty
is.
commonplace for someone who gets big off the tee and gets full ride on that second shot. The difficult thing is if you're going to go big on the second shot to try to push the tree line and get anywhere near the pin.
This is the shot I was waiting to see. Can he work this left and take a big skip?
I like it. I love it.
That's about as close as you're going to get from hitting the first available tree off the tee on a 1,200-foot par 5, still with a look for birdie.
Well, that shot we just saw probably traveled about 550
556.
down the hill. Yeah, see?
Just
This is
kidding.
what I'm talking about.
I have no clue. Yeah, first time covering the on-course commentary. It's a lot of fun.
Smooth turnover right into the circle.
Nice bird.
I would classify Paul's emotions right now as not having fun.
It's like an all-time bird right here.
Yeah, this would be crazy.
Hate to see Ricky leaving that one short after all the work he did to get there.
Gannon's kind of back.
Yeah. He's the first guy to kind of break through the fog. Starting to get to a respectable score. Has an opportunity to still put together a pretty great round.
Yeah.
Calvin just can't keep going birdie bogey. He's got to get on some sort of rhythm here if he wants to stay anywhere near the top going into Championship Sunday. As Paul steps up to hole 12, going roller. This hole kind of is a cheat code for getting into C2 automatically with the roller. As I believe you guys said in practice.
C1,
perhaps. C1 even, but a clean roller just should get you into C2 or better, it feels like. You rolling the heat?
Yeah. I got lucky. Bradley Williams rolled right in front of me, took the line I wanted, and his ended up a little bit right, so I was able to correct on that.
Well, you're jumping all the way up to third place with your bogey-free 5 under so far. Taking advantage of Lee Card not getting the birdies, just playing smooth and steady. It's working out.
Yeah, so there's all kinds of different plays here. I think roller is by far the best play because of the low ceiling, but you can throw a backhand and try to split these two trees right here. There is a sidearm flex shot too if you got it. But I'm guessing we're gonna see some rollers.
Roller right up the middle.
Yeah, that's great.
And curls at about 33.
Calvin doesn't like to roll. He's one of them straight shooters.
One of the best straight shooters we've ever seen.
That'll be...
Wow, that got there
Yeah.
quick. I was like,
good.
oh, I wonder how the skip's going to be. And then before it ever hit the ground, it's already all the way to the green.
That sentiment crosses my mind literally every time he throws the disc.
This looks great.
You'll take that for sure.
Man, these guys look so smooth. I feel like I look dorky when I throw. Did you guys see my shot? It was like all derpy. And then these guys are just like flowing through.
I've known that about myself for a long time. But I've made my peace, you know?
I don't get to see myself throw a lot. I'm kind of glad. Oh,
Ken
get
Calvin.
in there.
I remember the first time Stan McDaniel, Charlotte legend, saw a video of him throwing. And his response to it was, I don't jump when I throw. And he's always had this little dumb hop that he does right as he's throwing. And it's so endearing. But he just couldn't believe that he'd been looking that way his entire career.
Paul misses it on the AM side over there.
It's always weird hearing your voice or seeing yourself do an athletic thing. Doesn't seem right.
Yeah, I definitely don't feel like I look like that. You know, like
Yeah.
when I'm doing it, I'm feeling pretty cool.
Nice
cool about
birdie
it.
from Buhr. 5 out of the last 6. One thing I have noticed being in this line of work, I can remember a time when hearing my voice recorded, it sounded like not my voice. Mm-hmm. But that sensation is long gone for me.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel the same way? Like it sounds exactly the same now.
I can
Yes.
resonate with that.
But I can remember being a kid and like, what? That's not me when you would hear the recording. But I guess I've lost that. Too much time between these headphones.
We've just put too many people to sleep with our voices at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, wake up. We got 6 more holes to go.
It's not our fault. These guys are being slow.
Here we go. There's a little shot in the arm.
Whoa, Barella. 2 pars in a row. What's going on? Back to reality, I guess.
Whoa.
Wow, that's aggressive. Oh, no.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
It was
angle.
so tight to the tree, and you just gave back about 100 feet.
Kind of awesome to see him actually put a little more angle and turn that into an intentional roller. This is going to require, what, 460 at least?
You tell us, big guy.
I wasn't watching this one.
Oh, in. What?
What a bounce. That was like potentially out of bounds.
Oh, that was way out of bounds.
It was
yes.
screaming left.
That was one of the coolest trick shots I've ever seen him draw up. It was unbelievable.
This looks great.
Oh, there you see there you see it.
Oh,
That hit
That's
off
exactly
the top
what-
of the basket.
Did it really?
It hit off the top of the basket. Did you hear it?
I
what?
did not.
It-
In the air? Or it skipped up?
hit,
Double skip.
double skipped off the top of the basket, launched him out of bounds.
Wow.
what a crazy bogey to take. That's the first bogey. Nearly dunks it in for eagle. Unbelievable.
Gannon's just gone from this card.
Uh-huh.
Just see you later.
And he's retaken the lead in the tournament with that bogey from Anthony.
Hole 13, par 3, 455. Most players are going to go with a little bit of a turning backhand, just a tiny bit of turn, and then trying to flex it between these big trees late. It's a hole that certainly feels like it has a luck element that's maybe a little bit more than most of the guys would prefer. Just kind of get it up there in the air in a spot where it could reach the pin and cross your fingers as it approaches those big Douglas firs, I think.
I just wish there was one gap that was 10 feet wider than the others. Just so you could say, that's clearly the gap.
Yeah.
hold myself accountable if I don't hit that gap. That doesn't really seem to exist on 13.
This looks pretty good.
Cross your
Clunk.
fingers.
Oh, yeah, there. Right there.
Yeah, that works.
How stable are you?
Stable enough
Oh,
to go long.
Kind of nuts.
To go just under 500 off the tee.
Yeah, uphill. Oh, he pured it.
That really is as pure as it gets. That was just
that's the
no
gap.
doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
Gannon from 90 wants nothing to do with it. Calvin, this is the range he's just been barely off all day. Can he finally knock one down? No.
Rick can, though.
Starting to get things going for him. 3 through the last 4. The one par being the that miss from just outside the circle after the heroic effort to get back into birdie position. So minus that one tee shot, he's been playing incredible in the last 4 holes. McBeth picks up his second birdie of the round. And Calvin, once again, is doing this magical thing that he does, where he just seemingly is off, missing putts, still in the top 10. Any other player I've ever observed doing exactly what Calvin's doing is in 19th place tops at this point.
Barella on 15, forehand flex. A little bit short, but wide open.
It's a good
Another
proposition.
one. 6 of them.
Jeez Louise.
Holy moly. Ten under through 15 for Barilla.
With the bogey. This one's so tough.
Yeah, I think one of the hardest on the course. Hole 14, par 4, 845. That early mandatory, going to keep you honest. Make sure you're going straight out of that first gap. Big high turnover for the right-hander is the best possible drive you're going to see, getting way around the corner. But again, this is a tough one to access. I think best to come in from directly right of the basket, so pushing a little bit deeper and testing those trees when they're as close to the basket as possible, if that makes sense, like trying to make that coin flip happen when you're 30 feet away rather than going straight at the pin.
Oh, great angle here.
Yeah, conservative height, but good angle. Just keeps him in position to go big on his second shot. Also pretty conservative angle, but great. Or conservative height, but great angle.
I mean, that's
Oh,
huge,
monster.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a big shot. I'm just saying, like, you can push another 10 feet higher. And
Sure.
Like this?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's just a bit higher, but it also risks potentially landing right by me.
Nice safe call there, bud.
Thank you so
Definitely.
much. 368 to the pin with nothing in the way, straight through the woods. Very fortunate. Stayed in bounds and has a great look at the pin.
This needs to get down. So be right. Okay. Yeah, fine. Deal. How far was this?
420, 430.
Looks perfect to me.
It was.
No.
Before it got the Douglas fir half pipe.
Brutal.
Just long of ideal, if any mistake was made. Really bad reaction off the tree.
I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, I don't want to either. That shot looks so good from Rick from all the way back there. But Calvin does get this one nice pin high.
One of those days for Paul. Just doesn't get the filter through all the way. Going to have to earn it.
Not really even a hyzer option for Gannon here. Just has to go through the middle.
Great shot.
Yeah, I really like that. I mean, that's that idea of not taking on the challenge of the trees, trusting yourself to make a 25-footer, but guaranteeing yourself that opportunity. I mean, I think that's mature disc golf.
And a high level of execution just to get himself to that place, too. It's not like you just are guaranteed to land there. It still takes a fantastic shot to get there.
Yeah. McBeth off the top.
But I'm with you. Proper choice in shot shaping.
Woo.
Get in there.
And this is shaping up to be a very solid back nine for Gannon. And needed it after the flat start that everyone on the lead card had.
Yeah, he's got a lot of green on that card now.
You know who else needs it? This is the magic. It's just he kind of sprinkles in a birdie here and there on a pretty tough hole, and then that's the secret sauce of his ability of staying in the top 10 with subpar play.
Just gets the hardest holes.
He just gets the hardest holes, and he's usually missing birdie putts. It's not like he's missing bogey putts or par putts even. It's just amplified by the ho-hum nature that he has when he plays. When he's missing putts and he's going ho-hum, oh, whatever, just never really showing any emotion. There's just not much excitement that comes from it. The only excitement in Calvin's game is the fact that he can zip 500 feet in less than 2 seconds. That's very exciting.
Sweet, yeah.
Yes, it is.
It's awesome.
Tell us what you got here, Nate. This is your hole anyway.
Yeah, for sure. Hole 15, par 3, 335. Kind of a homage to Pier Park, one of the more famous Portland disc golf courses, just playing among the tall trees. You've got straight at it with putter or mid-range, or a very wide open forehand flex. There is some OB up there on the left side as well as down the entire right side of the fairway, but you just don't see a lot of OBs on this hole.
You're downplaying Pier Park, one of the most famous courses in the country, if not the world. In my personal favorite, par 54.
It's the best par 54 in the world.
High praise for sure.
No, it is.
It's fantastic.
It was rated that by the same guys who rate all the good stuff.
The Jomez boys.
Yeah.
That's a nice little park job, continuing Gannon's dominance of the back nine.
Ooh, I like the shape of this. Yeah, I saw little pine cones getting shot at the bucket. That's usually a good sign.
I think just outside bullseye.
Yeah.
Yep.
also looks great.
Just inside bullseye,
Really?
maybe.
Well, let's see. Pauls is in first place. Oh.
Yeah, just inside bullseye. Remember the first quad follow flight, USDGC, like 2017, 2018 or something?
I don't remember. Was it hole 3?
Yes.
Okay, maybe I do remember.
It's hole 3.
Yes, I do remember.
It turns out I do. That blew my mind. Ricky has to move out his body out to the left a little bit. That's a lot of right side chains.
I mean this as much as possible as a compliment to Ricky Wysocki, but this is maybe the worst I've ever seen him putt. And it's like a field average putting day. It's not like he's missing a ton, but I just can't remember a time where he seemed as out of sorts. Like starting right from the jump with that first one that was super low. That bullseye edge miss obviously was a crazy one. A few splash outs. It's just a thing that I've learned to absolutely count on. If he's about 35 feet, that he's just going to drop it right in the center as if he never even thought about the possibility that he could miss. So to me, this is one of the worst putting performances I can remember watching from him.
Gannon now back to a 2-shot lead.
Hole 16, par 3, 410. You got the small gap to start. You don't have to go through it, though. You can play roller around on either side. But a lot of guys are going to just play up the middle, try to throw that little turnover. There's a low hyzer window. Really a lot of options here to try to be creative.
Did you go sidearm roller?
I didn't in the tournament, but I did try in practice. I didn't like the wind today.
Corey Ellis, 90 feet, just a downtown assassin.
Out of his hand, he goes, well, that's not going in.
Well, doesn't matter what he says.
And then
That's in.
mid-flight, Bradley goes, are you sure? Or something like that. And then just dropped right in.
What a rebound for Corey Ellis this round. I mean, just horrible start. And everything since then has been pretty incredible.
Gannon's going to have a tough look there.
Gannon's going to have no look there.
Okay.
That's completely stymied.
Oh, get down.
I think Calvin got pretty fortunate to muster up a look.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Look out.
Early release, nightmare kick, straight out of bounds for McBeth.
And it's just been a nightmare round all the way through for McBeth. Fantastic tee shot from Rick. A lot of work left just to save the bogey alone. A lot of work left to save the bogey.
Yeah, a little rushed. I get it. Doesn't care at all in the least about that upshot.
Okay, to be fair, there is some luck.
Yeah, for sure. I think.
Higher and floating it in, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think too bad.
Calvin's just landed at this spot all day.
Today. He's just so often. It's a great bogey save.
Good birdie.
Let's see what else is going on the leaderboard. Ulibarri staying up there, tied for third place, trying to get on that final spot on Championship Sunday lead card.
Some decent separation for our top two. That's kind of been developing through the day.
I think there was 10 players were all within 5 strokes to start the round of the lead. And at this point, I think the 5 strokes is getting pretty close between first and second place and the rest of the field. There has been a lot of movement, though. Players jumping up the leaderboard, getting into the top 2 or 3 cards from down in the pack. And moving day also means you can move down. And that there's been a lot of that happening, too.
Great roller from Ricky. Way down there. Gannon just trying an air shot, but that's not happening.
Overturned a bit. Also, the kick slows down any progress.
Calvin likes the roller as well, but there's some trees there. Gets by him.
Nice.
All right.
Gets through.
Very good. Like the tee shot here, the up shot going into the green, though, not much to work with. I don't care how far you throw it. Just kind of a guessing game.
Great shot from Paul.
Best of the bunch.
Just from this distance, there's no way to aim. It's just chuck it in here.
Whoa.
Skip off the sidewalk, hopefully. Or don't.
Does not get back. And that's going to be out of bounds somewhere in the 80-foot range. Line blocked by 1 or 2 Douglas firs. So pretty much a guarantee bogey coming up for Gannon on 17.
I do like this hyzer route right here. I think it's the cleanest way into the bucket. But it's so low ceiling. It's kind of tricky. Ricky doesn't even want to play with it. Oh,
Wow.
goodness.
Wow.
Great ground play.
That looked easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I got to learn how to do that.
Oh, you can do that. That's like your thing you do.
Yeah. You might be right.
Not happy about the bogey. Who is? Whoa, big hops from Jerm. Wow. Whoa,
There's
got
a
up
caterpillar,
there.
I think. Something on the ground. Calvin in for the birdie.
Of course, I say no real way into the green, and they just pepper this bad
Everybody
boy.
just parks it.
I mean, Gannon had all the distance in the world to get there. Just pulled a little bit left off the initial shot. Whoops. You see, there's a crosswind that.
These guys don't need you making excuses for them anymore.
Actually, I didn't even see that one. I was already on my way to 18's fairway. I had no idea that Paul missed that putt. That's remarkable.
Okay, 18, Anthony on the tee.
That's a pretty furious looking tee shot.
Is this pushing too far left?
Indeed, it is.
Wow.
Way, way up there. That's a really good tee shot.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Beautiful.
For eagle.
Yeah, what is that? 38 to 40 feet, something like that. Meanwhile, AB, after his OB drive, left with
Whoa.
it's just unfair at times.
399, he told me from there.
That's all.
Yep.
Still an amazing shot.
And Simon finishing with an eagle. One of only 3 on the day.
Under par. Fantastic round for Barella.
1,000 feet. These guys have no problem carrying this pond. Anything in front of these trees. And then you got decision to make. Sidearm to the bottom of the hill is typically what people try to do. But you saw those guys get really aggressive and go home in 2.
399 in after going out of bounds. The hole, again, 1,000.
Do the math. Yeah, just
Went
under 600.
far.
Or just over 600 off the tee.
All hyzer.
From where it crossed
Yeah,
the
and
OB
it flew
line.
farther than that.
Yoinks.
Kyle Klein.
No, with a birdie for Kyle on 18, he will knock off Luke Taylor from the lead card. Luke, we talked about him yesterday. He said he was going to make us talk about him over the weekend. Shot 10 down in round 2. Said, I'm going to shoot 10 down again tomorrow at Glendoveer. And he did. He talked it into existence, jumped all the way up into a momentary 4th place finish. But that birdie from Kyle Klein is going to put him on a lead card come Championship Sunday.
Could be a little awkward from there, but great distance.
It's sometimes it's like a blessing in disguise. Because you know Ricky's thinking home in 2.
Yeah, that takes Eagle out of play.
Yeah,
Which,
and it's pretty easy to play from there for birdie, I think.
yeah.
Let's see what Calvin thinks.
He ain't laying up. Typically. Great shot. I know where that thing's flying. It's not going into a layup zone.
I don't know. I think he's going to play a conservative shot on this next one, guys.
Gannon needs birdie to pull even with Barella. He might do better than that from there. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Past the tree.
Yeah.
Jeez. Very nice.
Have that left for the solo lead.
Calvin does have to lay up. Did not
Yeah.
have the angle or the ceiling.
Looked like he tried to throw it OB right, too. But maybe hit something? What happened there, Jerm?
He hit a tree.
There you
Yeah,
go.
didn't get very far at all. Now he's got to come up with a big third shot to try to get the birdie.
Did that? Okay, good. I thought that hit the early tree and kicked for a moment. It's actually perfect.
Still some work to be done, of course. Elevated basket, uphill. We're trying to just put one close and shoot a respectable back nine after a very blasé front from everyone on our card. The conditions did get much easier to compete on. Comeback nine, though. The sun came out. The wind slowed down a bit. Awesome effort.
He'll have to settle for a tie. McBeth for eagle. Air ball.
Whoops.
Whoops.
For birdie from farther than the eagle putt was. That's going to be a round to forget for McBeth.
I think at this point he's already forgotten the round. Yeah. Oh, Calvin. We talk about this when a newer player comes along and shoots pretty poorly in the front nine. That's something to learn from. There's nothing for Paul to learn. This is like, and I'm not talking about he's forgot about the round by the time we're recording commentary. I think he's forgotten the round at this point in the day. Like, he's over it.
I don't know. When you put, I think Nate, you hit the nail on the head when he's been putting together some fantastic scores, getting himself in contention. You gotta follow up those rounds with something really good, and he hasn't been able to do that. 14 under Champions Cup, really what is it?
Lackluster.
Yeah, lackluster. And then here, kind of the same thing.
Well, Ulibarri, Taylor, Wysocki, Robinson, Chase Card, they're going to be 6 and 7 shots behind the lead of Anthony Barella and Gannon Buhr, who have a 5-shot lead over third place in Corey Ellis and Kyle Klein. It looks like it's going to be a 2-player showdown, but we've seen crazier things. We've seen crazier things this year so far, but it's going to be an exciting championship Sunday nonetheless. I guess this is the point in the round where I tell Paul, hey, Paul, like and subscribe or something, and then we ask Nate something, and then he tells us something. So, Nate, tell us something.
I mean,
I like this series a lot, by the way.
If you're not in a hurry, just do the mental math. I know calculators are everywhere, and it might be difficult for you, and it's difficult for me sometimes, but that's the kind of thing that staves off cognitive decline. It's going to keep you sharp. It's going to challenge you a little bit. So just don't be afraid to do the mental math, even if it hurts a little bit, even if you feel stupid in the moment. You don't need to grab that phone. Just add it up.
Like, subscribe.
Can watch your body and I feel that sunshine. Get up on my body, know that truly I feel fine. Get watch your body and I feel that sunshine. Get up on my body, know that truly I feel fine.